Welcome back, guys. Hopefully you're having a blessed time. We are going to be getting into the Monday Mannas. And I know it's kind of like, oh, this is a weird angle, but actually it's because I'm right on my desk. So I wanted to have I just kind of an angle where, I don't know, it looks kind of good. Maybe I can even move. There we go. Move it over a bit. We're going to be getting into the Word. We're going to be getting back into it. I want these Monday Mannas to really just get back to the Word. So I'm going to be returning to Genesis. We're going to be in Genesis, and we're just going to keep going. I think, my videos look a whole lot better, and they sound a whole lot better. So I thought I'd just start out with this. So the Monday Mannas going forward now are just going to be scriptures, diving into the Word. I think I'm going to be doing Genesis, and then we'll hop into the New Testament. So that'd be kind of cool. Maybe do a psalm, or maybe even do psalms, start out having Genesis, and then I want to start that off, and really because I fell off doing my Genesis series for a while, and that's definitely, it's sad. I want to get back to that, but I'm just going to redo it because this looks and sounds way better. So we're just going to be getting into it. So Monday Manna here, let's tighten that right quick, and beginning in Genesis 1, we're just gonna and get into it. So we see here in Genesis 1:1, it says, "In the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. The Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water." So we can already stop here. We see just already in the beginning here, God is making the whole world, and we see the first person of the triune God, the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of God. He's hovering over the face of the water. And we already see God himself. We can say God the Father. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. He's creating it. This is the creation account. And again, you can see all these references, right? But this is the creation account. And we're just going Genesis 1:1. And we're going to keep going till we're done. Sorry for my squeaky chair. And God said, continuing verse 3, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And this is such a crazy and insane thing to think about, that when we think about light and darkness, we always think separation. We think about that separation of light and darkness, right? If you turn on a light switch and you're in a dark room, then no longer is there going to be that darkness. But we actually see in the beginning, when God created light, it was somehow intermingled with this darkness. And God said that this light was good, so he divided the light from the darkness. He saw that light was good, and he divided it from the absence of light. And we have no idea what that looks like, but again, we see from here, God divided the light from the darkness, showing that light and darkness were intertwined in the beginning. But God, in his omnipotence, divided, he bended reality to his own will to divide permanently light and darkness. We can see that as a stark contrast of him, there's good and there's evil, and he divides it. And there is a difference, right, between good and evil. But ultimately, he's talking about light here. He's bending the physical reality that was once intermingled, which is a crazy thing to think about. So we see again, and God, in verse 5, "And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day." So he's calling the light that is happening day, and the night and the darkness he called night. Now notice, we have already only read 4 verses, but we don't see any mention at all of any stars, sun, moon, any sort of thing like that. So that begs the question, how is there a morning and an evening? If there's no sun, if there's no solar system, if there's no thing to dictate a morning and an evening, how is that so? Well, I think the best way to really understand that is that, because people talk about the creation account being 1,000 years and all that stuff. I don't believe that. I take it as it was written, the evening and the morning were the first day. Whoever's writing this, typically a lot of people think Moses wrote, the Pentateuch, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. And God is making these in 6 days. We believe that. And it was the morning and the evening. It was though God is outside of it, he is timeless. But to put it into a perspective of a human, and even, here's the amazing thing. Though God is timeless, absolutely, he creates time in the verse 1 that we see. Here in verse 1, he creates time. He creates the timeline. He creates the timeline that he's making the creation for. We see it right here. In the beginning. In the beginning of his creation, time starts, boom, right there. For creation, time starts right there. And that's why it's described here, the evening and the morning were the first day. These are the first evenings. This is the first time frame of the evening and the morning of the first day, because time started right here when he created the deep, when he created light. When he started his creation of the world, that is when time started in creation for humans, right? And so he has made light, and he called that day, which is interesting. Again, there's no sun to go up or night to set. There's no moon to come up or sun to set or anything like that. And he's calling light day. So already, even before the stars, the planets are made, he's calling light day. He's assigning something to light, and he's calling the darkness night. So it's kind of a cool thing, right? How God in his omnipotence and how he's such a brilliant creator, right? He assigns darkness to night before there's stars and a moon, He assigns light the function of day before there's even a sun. And we're going to see this later on. So we see continuing in verse 6, God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." So at first glance, you can read this, and it kind of becomes a little confusing, but you can read on, and you can get a better understanding of it. "And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day." So we see here that, what is this firmament? This firmament, typically people talk about, as some sort of, as a mist. A water is above the earth. It's a firmament. It's a mist. It's a heavy mist, a cloud, as it were. And what God is doing that, he's getting these waters, and he's dividing the waters, the mist, the firmament, from the waters on the earth. So what he's doing is he's making it to where there's not just constant this mist, this heavy, thick firmament. He's dividing it and dividing those waters, the firmament, from the waters underneath, the waters on the earth. And you're saying, I hasn't even talked about the earth yet. Well, we see that actually in the beginning. We see that the earth was formed, and it didn't have a form. So the earth was without form. So earth, stone, rock, and void, so nothing, just everything, nothing around it. And the darkness was on the face of the deep. What is the deep? The deep is waters. And again, we see the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So the earth, the rocks, dirt, right, was intermingled with the water. And what God's doing now is that there's this firmament, there's this mist, and he's dividing it from the water that is intermingled with the earth, right? It's without form yet. And so he's dividing that and making an atmosphere. So God is making now that firmament and making clouds, making an atmosphere, making and dividing it from the waters that are on the earth. So again, to recap, we see that there's a firmament, which is that cloud, that thick fog, as a lot of people say it, in the midst of the waters. So this is intermingled in the formless world around the waters, and he's dividing that from the waters. So he's dividing that from the oceans, from the lakes, from the rivers, from the body of water that, again, it's without form, so it doesn't have that yet. He's dividing that. He's making a water that is under the firmament. He's dividing the water which were under the firmament. Okay, so he's dividing the waters that are underneath the cloud, the thick, mist. And then he's dividing the waters which were above the firmament again. So he's just making a distinction between those two. A lot of this we can see is that God has formed, or the earth is without form, and now he's making distinctions. Now he's making clear distinctions between a lot of stuff. That's the main theme that we see. And he's making a distinction between that mist, that fog, that firmament, and making clouds. Because clouds are just all water. It's just hanging water. And even humidity in the air, that's just water in the air. And so God has divided that now from the water that is on the earth. Again, he's making distinction between two things that are the same. The water that is in clouds and the water that is in the air is the same from the water that is on the earth, but he just has made a distinction now. Now he has made them divided. And he called the firmament heaven, and that's not the heaven like you would think God lived in the throne room of God. That's not that heaven. That heaven is when you look above, you see the heavens, right? The stars. Oftentimes we can see that there's multiple heavens, not like a Mormon thing or anything like that. It is, you can look up and see the heavens, the stars, the clouds, the above you, the heavens. That was typically referred as heaven. So he's called the firmament heaven. So clouds, things in the sky that, mist, again, those things above the earth and above oceans, waters, lakes, rivers. That's that heaven where those clouds are. The evening and the morning were the second day. Again, he ends it off by making these things, making those distinctions. And throughout that beginning time, it was the time frame of a morning and a day. So again, another day has passed because we see that initial start of the timeline in the beginning. In the beginning starts that clock from creation, and now we're in the second day. And you know what? I'm going to end it there because I want these videos to be sort of shorter. They're going to be about 10 minutes long because I do want to dive into these, but let me know if you want me to make them longer. I do enjoy doing these. I love Genesis with a passion, but I'm just going to start out 10 minutes, maybe go 15. So yeah, I love Genesis. It's amazing. I would highly recommend anybody to read Genesis. Of course, it is a book that gives so much context to everything else in the Bible. Like, you want to know the coming Messiah. You want to know creation. You want to know the context of God's love for us. Read Genesis all the way. So recommend that. And I think that's it. But I'm going to end it there. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Tell me if y'all want me to do it more often or do longer. I don't know. Let me know. And I'll definitely love to do that. Next time I'll probably do 20 minutes. We'll probably shoot for that next time, 20 minutes. This is going to take a while, so I might need to do another chunk. But I just thought 10 minutes for today. Tell me what y'all think. And I'm going to be doing these every other Monday. But if I'm doing 10 minutes, I might start doing them every Monday again. But I will let y'all know. And also, I'm going to be opening a Patreon. So check for that down in the description. If y'all love to support this ministry, that'd be amazing. Support your local ministry first, and out of your abundance, if you see that you can support this ministry, because I really do believe this is a ministry, then check that link down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. And if not, just share and like with a friend. That is greatly appreciated. As always, think about yourself less. Think about God a whole lot more. And read Genesis. I'm telling y'all, people, it's amazing. Take it easy.